guys, what's up? Welcome back to the podcast. This is hashtag Behind Relationship Goals. I'm Fofo.
And I'm Bones.
I'm wearing the costume of...
Tanjiro!
I just recently started watching Demon Slayer on Netflix. It has 26 episodes. And tapos na ako.
Yay!
I finished it in a week.
I finished it with Mikael also.
It is absolutely amazing. I highly suggest that you guys watch it. I know we suggested some other things to watch before, and that's why I'm putting it out there. Demon Slayer is easily my top 5 in animes, so go ahead and watch it.
I'm so happy you like it. I'm so happy. Anyways.
We just had an amazing previous episode that was about jealousy, so thank you to everybody who watched and commented. We absolutely loved your comments. It was really nice knowing how many people could actually relate to both our arguments.
Yeah, so there were some people that were saying that I relate to Bones, but then when I heard Fofo, I think I'm gonna side with Fofo this time.
The back and forth with the audience and the viewers and listeners, it made that episode so much more fulfilling.
And I think it also gave people a different kind of perspective to how we discuss certain things. Because in our previous podcast, we just dabble into it a little bit and it would be a bit more general. But we decided, why not go all out and just tell more of a truth of the topic that we're talking about.
Deep dive more into our topic. So for this episode, before we get into the topic, we have a little story we want to tell you guys. The story is about Pinocchio. The millennials and the younger people who listen to this might not know Pinocchio. I would not be surprised.
Really? Oh yeah, because it hasn't come out in the remakes.
Yeah, so Pinocchio, it's about a wooden boy who lies. And when he lies, his nose gets longer and longer and longer. So there's a clear telltale sign when Pinocchio is lying. His nose grows. And you can tell. It's a metaphor, actually, for people. Because people, more often than not, have telltale signs about lying. With that, we segue into the topic for this episode, which is the art of lying.
Oh gosh.
Medyo sensitive topic though, don't you think so?
I think it's sensitive for a lot of people, but, well, I guess also us.
So let's start this off. Have you ever lied to me?
Yes. Many times. Many
Oh my God,
times.
many times.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah. Oh, Popo, you know this because you caught me every single time that I told the lie.
Naglalagay lang ako ng extra reaction because this is the first time that everybody else is hearing that you've lied to me many times. Of course, I know that, guys.
Yeah,
Bonizi is the worst liar in the world.
I am.
Grabe.
I am. I tell Mikael a lot of little lies, but then it's always obvious. I mean, that's why, like, in interviews, I always say, I can't lie. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to tell you the truth.
When Pinocchio lies, his nose gets longer. When Bonizi lies, her nose gets longer, her lips get fatter, her eyes get bigger, she gets a little shorter. Lahat. All the possible telltale signs lumalabas.
Makaisipin talaga nila, ganun yun ang For me, you can really tell because of the tone of my voice. And I don't look at you.
Zero confidence. The tone of her voice, it's breaking a bit. It's like there's something stuck in her throat.
So, ikaw, Fofo, matanong din kita. Have you ever lied to me?
Oh yes. More than you've lied to me.
Really?
I'm so sure
This is a revelation.
that I have lied to you more than you have lied to me.
But the difference is that I don't catch you. Let's be honest here.
Maybe it's not lying, but I didn't get to tell you the whole truth. I'll tell the story and then let's break down the situation.
Okay.
Because I'm not completely sure if this is lying. There have been many times where maybe you're at work or you're at home and I'm in a separate place. I tell you, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just here in this place. But you know how spontaneous I am, and sometimes a friend, a workmate, or a cousin or a relative would suddenly say, hey, let's go out. And I end up going out and drinking, just hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
You did not know about that. And that's basically a situation that's happened many times. And the reason why I bring this up is because for some people, it's a huge problem. Bakit hindi mo sinabi sa akin, lumabas ka?
Yeah.
You know that line?
Yeah.
For me, however, let's break this down now.
All right.
There was no malice in not saying. I think there needs to be a line drawn between lying and not having to tell you every single step that I take in my life.
Okay. Get.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
So do you think that is lying?
Hindi mo sinabi sa akin. So, if I'm going to look at it from your point of view, you weren't lying. You just weren't saying it.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, I'm not mad about it. But in certain situations, I would have been more like, it would be nice to know, just in case something happens, I know where you are.
That's true.
So for me, it's more about safety rather than trust issues. Because
Yeah.
I don't have any trust issues. Wherever you go, whoever you're with, I trust you, the way that you're going to think, the way that you're going to put yourself out there. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, you can hang out with whoever you want. Okay lang sa akin yun. Kahit babae o lalaki yun.
Ooh, girls.
It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. He can do whatever he wants on a certain level. May bawi. But for me, for safety purposes, I would like to know where you are. Because
I get it.
whenever I tell you where I am, it's because I want you to know just in case something happens.
All right, I completely understand. And now that we've talked about this, I see where the line is drawn now. So the line that we're talking about for this podcast moving forward is my deception.
Yeah. Like, there's a reason why you're lying.
I have not lied to you in a very, very long time. Except for the times that I am going to surprise you.
Oh, yeah.
So in the past handful of years, I don't think I have ever lied to you about something major or risky.
Mm.
The few times that I have lied to you was maybe when I would have to surprise her with a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gotta lie about that.
How are you going to surprise
How
me?
am I gonna surprise her? Those are the only times I use it, but otherwise, I cannot remember a time when I have lied to you majorly in recent memory. High five!
Good job, Popo.
Okay, I'm throwing it back to you. When is the last time you lied to me?
2 days ago.
Okay, about what?
It's about getting things done. So Mikael is a constant reminder. He had a big sigh. Mikael is a constant reminder for me because I'm very forgetful. I have a list of things to do, but sometimes I forget about it. He's like, did you message these people to follow up on certain things? Did you do your list? I had thought about it earlier that day. And when you asked me, I was like, ooh, reminder. But I said yes anyways. And I messaged them right after you told me. But that was my white lie. When you asked me if I messaged this one person about something. Ooh,
I do not like that at all.
I know.
I hate that.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. Bonizi has a thing when it comes to procrastination. Just like a lot of people, I have it as well. But for the longest time, it's always been me reminding her, and it's so much effort on my part. Like the first 2 years, fine, I'll do it lovingly and everything. But dude, on the 5th year, 6th year, why do you need an extra human app to remind you?
You should have that on your phone instead.
When she lies about that, it makes me feel even worse, even though you do it right after. I'm like, dude, why? You're covering up for yourself.
Yeah.
And I would rather that you just say, I'm so sorry, I forgot again. At least I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah.
At least I see accountability from your end.
That's actually one of the constant problems that Mikael and I have had in the years of our relationship. It's really me covering up little mistakes with white lies. And syempre, these things add on. Now, it's not as frequent anymore, but it would be all the time, constantly trying to cover up for my little mistakes. And Mikael would know because he obviously knows when I lie about these things.
Because she's a bad liar.
Because I'm a bad liar. And he would notice it every time, and he was waiting for me to tell him na, Fofo, I screwed up. I told you these lies, but there's a truth behind that. And he would get hurt every single time. Nadadagdagan siya na nadadagdagan. So he would get hurt and hurt even more.
Whenever you lie about these little things that you have to do, for me, you're also not allowing yourself to improve.
It was very selfish of me to think that way. I didn't think of how you would feel at that moment. What I was more worried about was, oh, Fofo's gonna get mad because I didn't do it. That was more of my thinking rather than Mikael looking out for me. I should have been thinking about how you felt if I lied to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
I agree.
You are a man of principle and you...
Ooh, a man of principle.
Yeah, you
Never
really
said
are.
that to me.
You are a man of principle and you would appreciate more if I told you the truth, even if it hurt.
The truth does hurt, but when it hurts, it gives you an opportunity to get better. However, when you lie, you really don't usually give yourself an opportunity to become a better person
Yeah.
or to improve.
How do you rate my improvement with my white lies?
I can't rate your lying,
No, like
but
my like
the
My-
situations
Yeah.
where you would usually give me a white lie, Bonizzi has definitely gotten better. One thing to note is that these things don't get better instantly. Like
Yeah.
you can't give someone a personality change right away or give someone a new habit right away. It really requires patience. When it comes to white lies, with this situation, I really don't believe in it because it hinders both of you from growing and being
Yeah.
better people and talking about it so you become better people.
Yeah, I think I used white lies as a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
That was really my thing because instead of growing some balls to actually just accept the mistake that I made, pinagtatakpan ko yung mali ko ng isa pang mali, which going back to the previous podcast when you said when you do something wrong to make up for it, even though it's good, like you feel that it's a good thing in the end.
Oh yeah, the end does not justify
the
means.
So for me, thinking na, oh, I think I'm just gonna like say this white lie para later on he'll just see the good things that happen when I do the task. Mali pa rin yun.
Mali pa rin yan. You're still denying people their improvement and their growth. Basically, when it comes to this topic, I would think that I am a better liar than you. Do you agree?
Yes.
But at the same time, you are a horrible lie detector. Do you also agree?
Yes.
So, medyo fail talaga si Bones.
Aww.
Okay, she's bad at lying and she's bad at detecting lies. Kung gusto mo siyang bentahan ng kutsinta pero puto talaga ang binibenta mo, kaya mo gawin yun.
Gullible Bones! Hi! Ikaw pala yung may advantage sa relationship na to.
You know what? You say that lightly. Given that we've been together for 10 years, I take that very seriously.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I was
Because
saying that in a joking way.
I know, but we're so open to one another, right?
Yeah.
And it's so obvious to both of us that I'm the better liar. I'm the riskier liar. I can lie about more important, significant things. Do you agree? Kasi
Yeah.
risk taker ako eh.
Yeah.
And I know that you have a hard time detecting these lies. It's not like because of this, you're gonna go out of your way and take a lie detecting course or really try to
Yeah.
invest your time to be a better lie detector, gets?
Okay.
When I realized this relationship was like that in terms of lying, I realized that that gave me a certain amount of power, to be honest with you. Because if I were a more malicious person, or if I were a person who did not have you in her best interest, what if I had myself in my best interest? I could really use this lying advantage to deceive you, to benefit myself.
Yeah.
Do you imagine how that happens?
That is scary. It honestly scares me, but I'm happy that you're not like that. Like, I know deep inside, and I know because I trust you, and I know you as a person that hindi mo gagawin yun. But there are certain situations that people with the same way of thinking as me, they are being taken advantage of. Diba? Matanong muna kita, how far can you forgive if I lied to you?
That's actually a really interesting question.
Diba?
Some people always say, unlimited.
Or no matter what happens,
Unlimited
I'll
yung
forgive
forgiveness
you.
ko.
Yeah.
And at this point, we want to move on to a little game.
I love games.
Well, how does this game go? You're gonna give me different kinds of lies.
And then we're gonna answer if it is a forgivable or an unforgivable lie.
Okay, game. Let's start.
Okay, so the first lie is lies of omission or telling half lies. Like you don't tell the whole truth. So let's say, for example, you went to like a party and then you told, like, right, I went to a party and then I told Mikael, yeah, I'm at this party, it's really fun, I'll be home soon. But what he didn't know is that this guy that I used to date was there and that we were talking.
Lie of omission is omitting something, removing
Yeah.
a detail from a story. Just to support what you said, another lie of omission is if like, hey Bones, I went out and had coffee with a friend.
But who was the
But yun pala,
friend?
nag-kiss kami. Pero hindi.
Ay, may kiss. Ba't akala ko?
Nag-coffee lang kami. Koko lang. Yung pala momol.
Oh my God.
Sorry. That was so funny.
You know what? You didn't have to take it that far.
I don't know what to say. That's never...
It could have been just like, sino ba yung kadate mo?
So, lie of omission basically is sabi mo, kokol yun pala mo.
Oh my gosh.
Forgivable or unforgivable?
I think if you did something, then it's unforgivable. Like if you did like a momol instead of a kokol, then it's unforgivable. Let's say, for example, you were just at the party. Tapos, andun lang yung ex mo. For me, like, it's forgivable. Kasi wala ka naman ginawa.
Okay, so the answer to the lies of omission is depende. So, moving on. What's the next lie?
The next lie is something that we just discussed. A kokol or a momol. Lies about cheating.
Lies about cheating. You know, haven't thought about this since we got married.
Oh, really?
Before we got married, we were magjowa for 9.5, 10 years, diba?
Jowa?
Oo.
Yeah.
So, ang tagal natin. Pero, I knew that I told myself, if you cheated on me, even just once, we're done.
That's what our
And I was gonna stick to
deal
that.
was.
I was gonna stick to that. But now that we're married, I'm gonna have to think about that. I'll try to think about it right now. If you cheat on me now, is that grounds for annulment? I have no idea.
I don't know.
You know what? I really have to see what my options are. Yeah, I'm sure there's like a whole background story that leads up to that. Lies of cheating for Bonizi is unforgivable. Lies of cheating for Fofo is unclear.
Seryoso ka?
No, I don't know if it's forgivable or unforgivable.
For me, unforgivable siya.
Oh, okay. Malay mo, diba? Mabait akong tao. But anyway, we're moving on. Lies about your whereabouts. That's fine. It's completely forgivable.
No, okay. So let's think about it. The situation that you gave kanina, like you being like at a bar or whatever. For me, I said I would like it if you told me for safety.
Yes.
It's not necessarily unforgivable. Okay?
Yes.
It's forgivable. But there's that reminder that I would like you to keep in your head. Now, when you're not telling me, I worry about your safety.
Oh.
Parang, hindi ka ba nag-worry sa safety ko if I don't tell you where I am?
Feeling ko malakas ka, bro. Kaya mo yan.
Ano to? Ano, susuntukin ko na lang yung mga...
Okay, you know, a question that I think we should be able to share to the audience is, are we the type of couple who needs to know where each of us are at every single time?
No, we're not that type of couple. Like, if you go out of the house and you say, hey, I'm gonna do some errands, I'm fine with it.
So to your point, yeah, you would like to feel safe for yourself and for myself by knowing where I am. But for me, you need to balance safety, trust, and convenience. I know there are so many couples out there, I have friends who are like this. It is a rule. You tell me where you are, exactly where you're going at the moment that you're going there. And you do that every single time. And the moment you don't do that, mag-aaway tayo. And these become big, explosive fights.
Yeah.
But guys, balance. Like I said, trust, convenience, and safety. So yeah, I'll tell Bones, oh, okay, I'm going to this area. At least she has a general idea where I am or where I was.
Yeah,
So if something happens, she knows the last point that I was in. But the thing is, like if I'm jumping around 3 different places in the span of 2 hours, I don't need to message you the whole time.
Exactly.
And that's freedom that she gives me and freedom that I give her. Just because it's convenient.
It's also good to have freedom in a relationship
Yeah.
because I want me time and I want to do things on my own. So I'll have a complete day to do my nails, like get my hair done and stuff like that. And then Fofo doesn't really need to know that. I just come home and I'm party.
I have an example. When we fight and I'm super duper duper angry, I told her that one thing that I could possibly do is just get up and leave the country
Oh yeah.
and not tell her where I am.
Yeah.
I've never done it, but I remember before I would tell you that during the times that we were getting to know each other and we had more serious fights,
Uh-huh.
that was something that I told her. Although now that I remember that, I wish I could do that. It sounds like so much fun.
No,
like
no,
just
no.
getting up and then Bonizi is like, Fofo, where's Fofo?
Wait.
And then I'm like chilling by a beach in
Wait.
Maldives or
We
something.
had a similar situation, but it wasn't you left the country. Like we had a big fight and you could not take the tension.
I
He
walked
walked out of the house, of my house at the time, and he didn't tell me where he was going. I kept calling him, trying to figure out where he was.
I
I'm like,
didn't answer for like 24 hours.
24
I'd say.
hours. I was like, hala, nasan na si Fofo? I got so worried.
She texted, she called, she emailed, she messaged on all messaging apps.
Lahat.
She texted my siblings.
But I knew that you checked in somewhere because you needed to like clear your headspace. So yun yung ginawa mo. Nag-gym ka, kumain ka sa buffet, tapos natulog ka.
Yeah, I had a good time. That was a really nice hotel with a really, really yummy buffet. So yung cool off ko medyo bongga.
Bongga, no? Because he was like, ganun na, maggagastos ka ng ganyan. This is a gantihan moment.
And then like we eventually made up, and then the credit card bill for that month came in, and then we were looking through it, and then she was like, so this is where you stayed. And I was looking at her, I was like, yeah baby, saya ko.
Nakakainis because that was like one of our favorite buffet places.
I know. Diba? Kaya sarap eh. Vindication.
Okay, so wait, for lies about your whereabouts, what is our answer to that? Is it forgivable or unforgivable?
I think I like my answer.
Mm-mm.
You need to balance your trust, safety, and convenience.
Same. I think for me, trust is like the number one. If you trust your partner on where they are and what they're doing, then, it's not going to matter.
As we move along, lies about your financial situation. For us, you don't lie about your financial situation because it's detrimental to your relationship. At least for our relationship.
Back then, I used to spend a lot and on a lot of useless stuff. A lot of things that I didn't need or just things that I wanted, and it would just pile up in my home, and sometimes I wouldn't even use these things. One time, we were doing our financial meeting, and you asked me to take out my credit card bill, and I was ashamed, honestly, at this time, because it was very new to me, and I was ashamed to show you my expenses. So I said, wala pa siya eh. You would ask me, kailan ba yung darating yung bill mo? I was like, ano pa, like in like the next 10 days. And I said that because I didn't want you to see the big purchase I had made on clothes recently, which was like, it was a big amount. So I was just like, I can't let Fofo see this. Like, hopefully we don't have a meeting, or like the next meeting, he just asked for the most recent one, and I will not show that. I will not show this.
Status update. I don't think we're like that anymore.
Well, we're far from that now.
Okay, fine. But she agrees. We're far from that. I think we're extremely open when it comes to those things. When you're purchasing things, there's usually a lot of shame in that.
Yeah.
I would say shame, but other people would use other words.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, when people buy certain things that they feel they're going to be judged on, they tend to not be very honest about it, even though it's with a person whom they completely love.
No, I think especially like when you're starting a family, like when you're married, financials are a big part of it because you need to plan out certain situations. Maybe they want to buy a family car or they want to buy a house for the future. So you not being honest about your spending or your financial stability could cause a hindrance to these purchases and to the goals that you want for your future family.
So not necessarily unforgivable, but don't do it.
mahirap magsinungaling about money.
Yes, I have a good example. We both were lucky enough to be in showbiz and we make a substantial amount of money in our work.
Okay.
I'm quite versed with money.
Mm-hmm.
And what if I told you, hey Bones, I have an investment. Why don't you give me your money and I'll invest it for you? And then I'm tempted to say, oh my God, I have this money. I think I could use it a bit here. I mean, I'm going to grow it. I'll just use it without her knowing it.
Yeah.
So I use it for my benefit and then I lose the money because it's a bad investment. Instead of going to you and being honest about it kasi nakakahiya yun. Kasi I said, magaling ako. Yun pala, hindi. I just lie about it. Your boyfriend, in a way, stole from you because he wasn't truthful. And because that is actually our real dynamic where I take care of our finances, that's something that I respect, which is why I said I take this dynamic that we have very, very seriously when it comes to this topic of lying.
Oh my God.
It's a big responsibility because we're so open to one another.
Yeah. But let's say you have a family member and they keep asking for like money to borrow. And of course, being family and you wanting to help out somebody, you give them the money. Let's say every week they borrow like 1,000 pesos, for example. And when it comes to the time that you ask for their payment, they'll be like, wala pa eh. 6 months down the line, wala pa rin. how far can
What
you...
is your limit? When does it end?
Yeah, when does it end? So there has to be a limit for yourself, and you can't let people take advantage of you. And you have to let them know.
I can imagine, like, because let's say we're doing better in terms of our work, and then we're lending money to a loved one, and then they're lying about paying. They
Yeah.
don't want to pay. They're coming up with all sorts of excuses. Tapos 6 months, 12 months na. And then later on, we start feeling shame. Like, nakakahiya naman, kinukulit ko naman lagi.
Yeah.
But the thing is, yung hiya mo is being felt at the expense of making this person accountable.
Yeah.
So after this person is done borrowing from us, they might go to another person and think it's okay. Or if it became a habit, if it became a psychological thing for them already, then we weren't really helping that person whom we love.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, just to like add on to that, there are people that I love that have borrowed money and haven't paid me back.
Yeah.
And it's made me realize that, okay, I need to do something to protect myself also. So when it comes to situations like this, whenever they ask for money, I'm like, okay,
We don't.
it's either we don't or we really get into the questions like, how are you going to pay me back? How long till you can pay me back? Do you want to create a plan for your payment scheme? So these are things that help us keep at peace, I guess, with what's happening and with the situation. And it eases the tension that we might feel.
It's a choice. Do you want to feel shame or do you want to ask the hard questions? Now, asking the hard questions obviously is difficult. Hard
Yeah.
questions, yeah. But with practice and the more you do it, the better you will become at it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, that choice gives both parties, the lender and the borrower, a chance to grow and become accountable for the things they do. While the other one, where you feel shame and just lying and deception, walang nangyayari, parang negative vibes yung choice na yun.
So in whatever you do, make sure that it's for the well-being of everyone involved. How do you make somebody a better person? How do you make yourself a better person with the choices that you make?
And there's another one. This is like, well, it's connected to financial situations.
But it's also a situation that we've seen a lot of times.
Alam naman natin, mahilig tayo maglaro ng mobile games, Mobile Legends. Candy Crush is a real deal. It's still something that's played by a lot of people.
For us, it's Ragnarok.
Yeah, so lies about in-app purchases.
There are some people that we know that have been put in situations like this. Like, kunwari, for the month, gumastos sila more than the budget. Or gumastos sila in general. Tapos hindi alam ng asawa na gumastos sila.
Yeah. Of course, this is forgivable, but I've heard of situations where the amounts involved when it comes to mobile gaming are trending towards unforgivable already.
Yeah.
Like parang sinangla na lahat, kulang na lang gulong ng kotse mo, yun na lang natira. Pero ako, may ano ako eh, I have a limit.
Me also. I have a
Really?
Yeah, I think so too.
What are your limits, Bones? When do you say, Fofo, no, we're done? How far can you forgive? And we're married. Does it change when we have kids?
Okay, that when you ask me about kids, I don't know because we're not at that point. I think with our current situation now, how far can you forgive? As of the moment, there's nothing like crazy that has happened to us. I hope nothing like super crazy and bad happens. I'm always gonna pray for that. But should a situation happen, I think I would have to really sit back and think about it and really analyze what are the pros and cons, because I know that I would have the tendency to just decide on a whim based on like feelings and my emotions. But if you did something really bad, then I would really have to like sit back and really think of my welfare. Is this helping me? How can I help him? Is it a worthy cause? Do you want to be helped? These are like questions that I have to ask myself, because I made a commitment to you as your wife that I would be with you through thick and thin, through good and bad, and I really have to make it work. This doesn't only go for couples, this also goes for friends, for family. I think you should always put a limit, kasi you want to take care of yourself also. Like, you're looking out for the people around you, pero pag inaapak-apakan ka na, you have to put a limit to it. You have to let them know na, I'm not gonna let you push these boundaries.
Ako may sagot ako.
Okay,
I have a limit.
what is the limit?
Okay, but let me get close to that limit first. For example, and Bonizius, none of these things I'm about to mention. kung maging drug addict ka, I will be there for you. If something happens or you end up in a mental health problem, I promise I will be there for you. Things of that nature, not a problem. Kahit mahirap yun para sa akin, for me, that's the commitment that we have to one another. And that's something I'm ready to do. That's why I'm with you.
I think that's also like the direction I was going with what I was
Ooh, gaya ka. Let me finish. Don't copy my answer. In situations where ako yung mahihirapan, ako yung ma-hassle because you have something that you're going through, I have absolutely no problems with that. I can take that. I can forgive you if forgiveness is an element that's needed in that situation. However, there is a line, and for me that line is the law. If there is a situation where you do, I'll blurt it out already, if you do something criminal, and you have to answer to the law, wala akong magagawa. I'm not gonna go prison break on you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, bad example yun. Technically innocent naman yata talaga yung brother niya doon. But let's say you really actually did something wrong, proven guilty na, then I would like you to be able to answer to that.
Yeah.
And I will not lie and twist my own freedom and the victim's freedom for you. So that, I think, is my limit. And I hope that that is your limit with me as well. Or at least that's around your limit.
Yeah, because you made that mistake, so you have to be accountable for it. Sagutin mo yung mali na ginawa mo.
But of course, we say that hard and fast, but I also say that making that decision is very, very sad.
Oh, it's
a heartbreaking decision. But that's where we stand. I guess as we move along, our answers, I realized, are not black and white. You're together for 10 years. Meron na talaga kayong game plan eh.
Yeah,
how you guys
middle
act
ground
to problems. You have this gray area of love. No, but it's so important. It's a gray area that's custom made by you guys.
Yeah.
It's custom made by your relationship and your experiences and your conversations and the problems and solutions you have to that. This isn't a gray area that works for everyone. I think everybody needs to find their own space. Because black and white,
comfort zone.
Yeah, black and white, that's difficult. That's just where you start.
Honestly, if we did things black and white, like if we said, like, this is forgivable, this is unforgivable, we wouldn't be truly happy with our relationship because walang middle ground with everything that's happening.
Yeah. So you start black and white when you get but as time goes by, you have to slowly diverge and find that middle gray ground.
I think also because we're so like spontaneous with the things that we do in life, if our decisions were too black and white, we would feel restricted and not happy. Feeling ko ganun tayo. Kasi we wouldn't have that freedom and that trust with each other. I think we should put our podcast to a close and have like a little conclusion about everything that we discussed. So when it comes to lying and the relationship, ano ba talaga yung foundation in making a relationship work?
For us, it really is, and I've repeated this many times, and I'm going to say it on and on in our podcast, it really is honesty. It goes against the whole topic of this podcast, which is about lying.
Yeah.
And I can't stress enough that honesty takes practice. I don't think I've ever heard anybody else say that.
Yeah.
That honesty takes practice. And I say that from experience.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. I think ang defense mechanisms natin will always come in na pag nahihiya tayo and there's shame.
Yeah.
We tend to not practice honesty. And when we break out of that, like I tell you, Bones, I spent 55 million pesos on Ragnarok. I'm so sorry. Ang sakit nun. Of course, I've never done that. I wish I could do that though. That's so much fun.
No, I wish you don't. Oh my goodness.
But imagine if you did something similar to that. It would be so shameful having to tell that person na yun. And then what if may problema pala kayo sa family, that expenses to pay, may utang kayo, tas yun yung gagawin nyo. It's even more added pressure to listen to that shame and not tell your partner and lie to you.
I think to add on to what you just said about lying and telling the truth and being honest, honesty takes practice in saying it, but it also takes practice in listening to honesty.
Oh yeah.
Because listening and hearing the truth can sometimes be so hard. Parang gusto mong magalit minsan sa partner mo pag naging honest siya. And that's how I was with Mikael at the beginning. Whenever he would be completely honest with me about something, I'm like, why do you have to say these things? Why do you need to say it like that? Like, can't you just be nice about it? But I realized later on that Mikael was being completely honest with me because it was for my well-being and for my growth. And when you have honesty that moves on into trust, when you have those two together, your love for each other grows even more.
I love that perspective. High five, Bonizi. That was a really nice perspective. Like
See, naitap ka lalo sa akin.
honesty is not just coming from the person, but honesty is also receiving it. That's cool. And on that note, we are going to end this podcast. I'm Fofo.
And I'm Bone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Nice.